Here we have a few expressions with radicals and fractional powers. And the question is to simplify this into x to some power times y to some other power, and there could be some constant in front too. Now to do these questions, you need to know some exponential rules. The simpler ones are like if you have x to some power and x to some other power, if the bases match, if they're both x, then the exponents add up. On the other hand, if you divide, the exponents subtract. Okay, and then there's the multiplication of exponents. If you have some exponents, parentheses, another exponent that gets multiplied. And this actually happens if you have more things multiplied inside the parentheses. So if you have x to some power, y to some power, and if these are multiplied, if it's added, then such a rule doesn't work. But if it's multiplied, then this is same as x to the AC and y to the BC. You also see these radicals. So if you have a cube root of something, that's same thing as 1/3 power. Fifth root of something, that's equal to 1/5 power. And like square root of x to the 5th x is well, square root is really 2 that's missing. There should be a 2. This square root is the same thing as 2 being here, so it's 1/2. And in general, this is what happens if you have like nth root and you have x to the nth power, then the nth root is like x to the nth power to the 1 over nth power, and because these two multiply, you end up with x to the m over n. Okay, so the square root of x to the 5th power, for example, would be x to the 5 over 2. This one right here. Okay, so with these formulas in mind, let's try to simplify one by one. So let's work on the first one. So recall that 16 is 4 squared, or 2 to the 4th power is also possible. Let's just write 4 squared. X to the 3/5 power, and I just mentioned that square root is 1/2 power, and because of this 5, this is x to the 5 over 2 power, and that's multiplied by 3 over 2, and then you have to do x to the 1/2 power and y. Okay, so they get multiplied to each of these, and this is 2 times 3 over 2, 2 will cancel, x to the 3 over 5, 3 over 2, x to the 5 over 2 times 3 over 2. Well, we could have added these first and then multiply the 3 over 2 also. Maybe that was easier, or it might not be that much different. 4 to the 3rd power is what you get. 3 times 3 is 9. 5 times 2 is 10. And x to the 5 times 3 is 15 over 4. And then when you have a division that's same as negative powers, and y to the -1 power. If you don't see anything that's same as 1 power, okay? So we have this, and then that means I need to make all these have common denominators, because these all have the same base, they add up. Whereas this one is a different base, so you still have to keep them separate. And to add these, you need common denominators, and I see that 20 is the least common multiple of every number. So I'm going to rewrite this as 4 to the third power x to the 18 over 20 plus 5 times 15 is 75 over 20, and then 10 multiplied top and bottom, that's 10 over 20. 18 minus 10 is 8. 8 plus 75 is 83. So it's x to the 83 over 20, y to the negative 1. And 4 to the third, you can leave it like that, or you can actually do the calculation. 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 4 is 64. So this will be our answer. Or you can leave it like 4 to the third power. Let's now move on to the next one. Here, cube root means 1/3 power. 27 is 3 times 3 times 3, or 3 to the third power. X to the fourth. Y without anything, that's y to the first power. And that's 1/3 power. Square root is x to the 1/2 power. Over fifth root is 1/5 power. Okay, so this is equal to this. 1/3 gets multiplied to each individual one, so it's 3 to the 3 times 1/3 times x to the 4 times 1/3 times y to the 1/3. 1 times 1/3 is 1/3. X to the 1/2, and 1 over x, y to the 1/5 is same as y to the negative 1/5. Okay, 3 times 1/3, that they cancel, so you just get 3. You get x to the 4/3, and there's another x, so that's added 1/2. Y, these are same, so you have to do 1/3 minus 1/5. And again, to combine the fractions, you need common denominators. So I multiplied 2 top and bottom, so it's 8 over 6. 2 top and bottom, that's 2 over 4. And then 1/3, 1/5. In that case, the least common multiple is 15. So 5 over, multiply 5 top and bottom, and multiply 3 top and bottom. And, oh, sorry, this should have been 3 over 6 to make common denominators. Okay, so you have 3x, 8 plus 3 is 11 over 6, and y, 5 minus 3 is 2 over 15. So the answer is 3 times x to the 11 over 6 and y to the 2 over 15.